Hi, everybody. Welcome to the ISU Coaches Corner. We're talking Idaho State University football again today. I'm Jerry Miller, and joining us today is ISU assistant coach David Fiefia. And David, not as an assistant, but specifically, he is in charge of special teams and running backs. And Dave, it is an absolute honor for me to be able to sit down and have this conversation with you.
Oh, it's awesome to be here. Thanks for having me, Jerry.
So your work as an assistant coach after games like the one we played this last weekend, there's not a lot to smile about. You go into that game, you're down two running backs, both Malachi Rango and Raiden Hunter, being unable to perform in that game. You have to move a linebacker over, which we've seen before. And O'Shea, averaged almost 10 yards a carry. And he surprised me with his speed to get outside around the edge. And then you unveiled a new young running back in number 12. I'm going to let you talk about how you think everybody did despite being down your 1 and 2 backs.
Yeah, well, technically, it's a hard task to kind of fill when you have two of your starting running backs go down. But as an offensive staff, we've kind of just identified guys that we need to get the ball in their hands. And so naturally took us back to when last time it happened in the spring versus Southern Utah, where both Raiden Hunter and Malachi Rango were both down. And we brought O'Shea over, having some background in high school running the ball, and did quite well for us in that game. And so that naturally came into conversation. And then having Soja Ngasu be able to start the game off, and then kind of unveil two guys that haven't had too much time or very little time in the backfield with Benji Omaebu and Tyven Ford. And so just kind of identified different ways that we can get the ball in different guys' hands, making sure that we can try to establish a run game. And so having those types of talents in the backfield, we were hoping to open it up a little bit more. We started off with a strong drive, and then just kind of playing behind the sticks and behind with the score. Didn't get to see that until late in the game. We were just trying to put it to bed.
We don't have to go back very far where we're talking about James Madison, Ty Flanagan, Xavier Finney. We've just had a recent history of really good running backs at ISU. What's the potential in that crop that you've got right now?
Yeah, well, given that the other two come back strong and healthy, hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, I think the potential is huge. Initially we recruited Benji as a running back, but then just being limited with Jeff Harris and Jalen Henderson being out early in the fall, it kind of made sense for us to move Benji, having some experience there at the slot position. But if we're able to hang on to him and have him in the backfield alongside with Soja and with Tyven, I think there's a strong outlook for the future for the Bengal running backs.
You've got so much youth on the team anyway, and still you've got Malachi and Raiden Hunter there. And I'm impressed with Malachi and how tough he is, despite his lack of, I guess, what I would call size and brute strength of somebody like that 230-pounder that was running for NAU at the end of the game.
Yeah. No, I mean, we have high hopes for him. It's just a matter of just making sure he can stay healthy. Unfortunately, he got banged up in the last game against Sac State with his ankle. And then we tried to just roll him through during practice, and then just slightly had a little tweak in his hamstring. And so we opted to just hold him out versus trying to see if, and push him and injure him further. And so, we have high hopes for him. So hopefully we can get him back here in the next couple of weeks and cut him loose.
You brought up Benji Omaebu, and the first thing that comes to the mind of a lot of fans when they see Benji and that kickoff return he had a week ago, 99 yards for a touchdown, all of a sudden everybody is thinking Michael Dean. What's the comparison there?
Yeah, I mean, they're both explosive players. He does come to mind when I think of Mikey. Definitely miss him a lot. But as a staff, we've decided to just cut him loose, and we're gonna pull his red shirt, and we're gonna roll with him. Being that we're limited and just being banged up at a couple of different spots, it only makes sense for us to have an explosive player like that on the field with us to help us win games. But just from that kickoff, we knew he could do it. We've seen it done from his highlight film during practice, and it was just a matter of just giving him the opportunity to be able to house one. So it was definitely a pleasure to see that live and in person, and knowing it's been a while since we've had one here at Idaho State.
I've got to give you and Coach Hall, who helps out with special teams, big time props with the way your special teams are playing. I noticed this last weekend, you had David Alish doing the place kicking, but Kevin Ryan, first in the nation in punting, and your special teams coverage has just been locked down this fall. And that's one of the few bright spots we've seen so far. How are you doing it?
At the beginning of the season, I kind of just looked at some stats, did some soul searching on kind of different ways that we can improve as a special teams unit. And as I kind of went through the list of the teams that made it to playoffs year in, year out in the Big Sky Conference, if you're a playoff team within the last 3-4 years, you are ranked in the top 5 in those big 4 categories. And so I kind of talked about those stats with the special teams units and the buy-in, and just a matter of putting a scheme out there and having them get out there and execute it. We've had a ton of guys step up to the plate and understanding what their job responsibilities are with alignment, assignment, technique, and then just getting out there and just cutting it loose, just run fast, free, and be physical out there. And they've done the job. And so it's been awesome to see guys that may not have a lot of playing time on the offensive or defensive side of the ball, just be able to cut it loose and play well on special teams.
I think a lot of fans may not know who the guys are on your kick coverage teams and things like that, because as you mentioned, they're guys that don't get a lot of regular playing time.
Yeah, that's kind of been my pitch to my guys as well on special teams, is the best way to make a direct impact on this team, being a new guy, is on special teams. We can, hey, your job responsibility is this, and this is what you got to do. Ready, set, go. And so a lot of young guys come in through my office, ask a lot of questions, and I'm able to put those guys in positions to be successful on game day. So it has nothing to do with myself and Coach Hall. It has everything to do with the guys. Those guys execute well, and they play hard.
Well, I know your kids love you as coaches, though, and there's a big plus to that as well in terms of what's going on inside of here and how motivated they are to perform when they hit the field. I know the Bengals are 0-4, and it is a tough way to start, and it's like, the only luck we can get is bad luck, and sometimes it seems like that's the way it goes. But you've had a personal situation in your family recently with your son Afu, and a cancer diagnosis. And I know that you haven't tried to cover that up. You have been willing to share the story and the struggle. And I know you're doing it to help your son and to help strengthen your family. But talk about what it's been like to have all of the people reach out to you that are, and express their love to you and your family.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely been an amazing experience, although I'd never wish it on anyone. We've been placed with a trial in our life, and it's been amazing to see just the outpouring of love and support from the community and from just family, friends, and the Pocatello community, Idaho State University community. It's been awesome. It's definitely lifted our spirits. It's hard to be down when you know that there's so many people out there that are pulling for you. And then just the guys that are here, they see me day in and day out here in the office, and they naturally want to be out there with me. And so they know what I have going on at home, and they respect my decision of being here at work with them. And so I think in the back of their minds, that makes them want to try a little bit more, just to be a better person, better football player, better student, just a better person just in general.
Well, Coach, I know you are not just a strength and an inspiration to your players, but to your family and to people like me as well. I've looked up to you ever since you landed on the staff here at Idaho State, and uh, couldn't be more pleased to have anybody around than we are you. And it's great, as I said, an honor for me to be able to talk to you. And all I can say is just keep up the good work, get those running backs healthy, and the better the special teams get, and they're pretty good right now, it's going to win some games down the road.
Yeah. All I've got to say is thank you for your time. Thank you for the support. Bengal Nation, stay with us. Obviously, yeah, we are 0-4, but we're not giving up on our guys. We're not giving up on you guys. We need the love, the support of Bengal Nation to stay with us. And we're looking to turn around the ship and get it back on track. So thank you. We love you. Go Bengals.
Absolutely. ISU assistant coach David Fiefia. And this has been another ISU Coach's Corner. And as Coach Fiefia said, go Bengals.